Thank you for giving Leanne and me a couple of minutes to talk about Plymouth's Pathways to Generosity campaign. The goal of Plymouth's campaign is to invite each Plymouth member and friend into a spiritual journey, beginning with where each of us is today on the giving path in response to God's blessings, and then praying about where God may be leading us to move. This isn't an easy journey or something we can just will ourselves to be better at. We can only pray and practice taking one more step toward being transformed by true generosity. Over the next month, every member and friend will receive a prayer card, access to an online devotional book that you can use daily, an estimate of giving card, and an informational booklet about this campaign. The booklet will include examples of ways in which Plymouth is at work in people's hearts and in the community. Each weekend in worship, we will also hear what we hope will be inspirational sermons about gratitude and generosity, and we'll also hear testimonials from fellow Plymouth members about ways in which their own generosity has changed their life and the lives of others.
And Plymouth, you are a generous people and a generous church. You all make sure that the Good Samaritan Fund always has money in it to assist those who come seeking assistance with rent, utility, water bills. We financially support both the Interfaith Alliance of Iowa and Amos, ensuring that progressive faith is active in our community. And our Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter special offerings are really generous contributions to good work done in support of our most vulnerable neighbors. We grow in love of our neighbors by investing in them. I've also been extremely impressed with how this congregation has invested in our building. And this is important, not only because our building deserves to be taken care of, but because this is a house of God. I'd like to think theologically about this for a moment and take us to Scripture. In the Bible, we read frequently about God's personal interest in holy space. In the book of Numbers, God is giving precise and detailed instruction as to how the temple should be built and furnished. God even expresses God's own preference for the color of the curtains. We grow in love of God by investing in this sacred space. We are being invited to grow in our giving, to grow in our generosity at this time. And here is where I see us being challenged to grow. We are being called to invest in ourselves with the same generosity that we invest in loving God and loving neighbor. With increased giving, we are going to see a lot of new programming developed in the areas of faith formation and spiritual growth for children, for our youth, for young, middle, and older adults. It is time to invest in our lives, our heads, our hearts, our souls. When we invest in this arena, we will begin to see retreats, workshops, classes designed to enhance how we live our everyday lives 24/7. We grow in love of God. We grow in love of our neighbors as ourselves by growing in our generosity.
In the booklet that you receive, we will be introduced to the steps on the pathway to generosity, beginning with exploring, which is making an estimate of occasional giving, and then progressing through seeking, which is making an annual commitment to a certain amount, growing, which is the commitment of a certain percentage of your income, deepening, which is increasing the percentage of giving, and finally transforming, which is giving a full tithe or 10% of your income. Everyone will be encouraged to take the next step on their path. All of this will kick off in worship on October 24th and will conclude in worship on November 21st, when we will be invited to fill out our estimate of giving card and return it to the congregation as an act of worship. Plymouth is at an exciting crossroads in its life in so many ways, and Leanne and I and all the folks on the Board of Stewardship are excited to be on this journey with you. We trust God to be with our church as we seek to practice God's radical love everywhere and always.